Good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming in. Gonna be a little different tonight. No politics. We might have some fun. Hello, you hear me? Okay. I don't know. My computer, something went on the computer. Anthony, you see me? You hear me? Oh well.
You're good.
Okay. All right. So I spent the last half hour, 45 minutes deleting or unsubscribing. Hey, Michael Spano, how are you? Spain, I'm sorry, Spain. Um, I get all these conservatives, they're redundant. The same thing over and over again. So I only keep a couple conservative ones. Louderwood Crowd, I love him, and a couple others. Other than that, I just too much. And they're all asking me for money. Every politician who's a Republican or conservative thinks that Vinny Parco can support him. I can't even support myself, never mind them. But in any event, I think this is a great topic. I think it's a lot. We're gonna have a lot of fun. I'm gonna have a lot of nice women on the show and men too, but mostly women talking about what guys can do to meet them or to keep them. That's another thing. Meet them and keep it is two different things. I have a guest tonight. Tina Tizin is an old friend of mine who's has a little experience with men. And she's going to give her comments, and I'm welcome any other comments that could come on because that spurs us to get even more and more and more into it. Now, one of the things we might be doing, again, I'm waiting for a callback, is we might be podcasting live from a couple gentlemen's clubs in Manhattan or other places, but mostly in Manhattan. And maybe one club constantly, or maybe two different clubs. And what's going to be interesting about that, some of the girls that work there in dresses will be on the show, just talking about things in general. So it'll be a little bit humorous and obviously it's eye candy. I mean, that's what it's all about, right? But one of the things I want to talk about tonight before I bring my guest up is I mentioned this to a lot of married men. And you know what? They said they're going to watch the show. You know why? Because married men, when their wives aren't around, they think they're single. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They think they're single, or they try to want to be single. Maybe want to be. That's been some of want to be wannabes. Okay. So what I think is interesting is I hear from guys my age or guys even younger than me, all the problems they have with meeting women, this, that, and the other, and a lot of it is their own is their own fault, and we're going to talk about that. That's why I'm going to have women on the show talking about things that turn them on, turn them off, things that just don't. Oh, what will you do in the gentleman's club, Vinny? Aha, Joe Bratt. What will I be? I'll be watching the monitor while I'm doing this show. Hopefully, not being distracted by the women in the club. But you know, it, I hear this all the time. I hear it from single guys and married guys. You know, married guys are always looking, but they don't want to touch. They look, but they don't want to touch, which is good. They keep them married. And the other thing I want to talk about is single guys should not go out with married women. No. Bad news. Not a good idea. And I'll tell you why. One of my favorite songs of all time is a song called "Me and Mrs. Jones," and that tells the story right there. If you listen to the lyrics, very good lyrics, by the way. Um, you just know that you can't. You're with a married woman. It's going to be bad. However, in Jeff Bezos' case, it worked. It worked against him in that he went out with a single woman while he was married, and he had to cough up $39 billion. At that time, he was worth 76 billion. So he cut it in half in equitable distribution, which is nice. I mean, he did the right thing as far as that. But then her stock went through the roof. So I don't know how much her stock probably went up to. She gave a lot of it away to charity, which is a good person. Good intentions, and unfortunately, the marriage went kafooey. that stuff's happened. Now you have Harry Macklow in the press. He's the judge ordered him, I think, $687 million worth of precious art has to be either auctioned or sold. I'm not sure what they have to do, but it's interesting. I know him. He's a good guy, smart guy, good client of mine. I really like the guy, but stuff happens. I'd love to be a person that could. I'm not an appraiser, but I would love to be the person that has to appraise all that. Matter of fact, I have a good friend, Mike Capo. I don't know if he's listening, but that's what he does. He's an appraiser of art and fine art, and he's the type of guy that you would use in a situation like that. And as a matter of fact, we've had cases like that, but we're not talking about my cases. We're talking about this. We have a number of guests I have. Most of the guests I have are females that I've known for years. Who some of them are actresses, some of them are models, some of them in different industries, different businesses, which I think is good because we'll have a diverse view of what women like in men and what turns them off. Some guys think that they're ladies' men, but they're really not. They're aggressive in the wrong. I hope you do well with your new format. Thank you, Eddie. Thank you so much. Another guy that's always supported me. We got really good guests coming on, and now next week we'll be doing again from here, my studio. As you can see, the background, we're in Manhattan. No, I'm not in Manhattan. We're in White Plains, but the background is beautiful. I love it. I miss Manhattan, by the way. I miss Manhattan a lot, but I live in a nice place, so I can't complain. Some of the sponsors we're going to have are obviously involved in this industry. Other gentlemen's clubs, some nightclubs, lingerie companies. That's part of the deal. And I think we're going to do good with that. One of the things that I want to talk about is, and Tina's going to come on and elaborate even better, is what things do men do to turn women off? Now, I go to the gym every day. Vinny, did you ever date some of the strippers from the gym? No, I never. That's another thing for single guys. Don't date strippers. All they want is your money. They don't love you. They don't want your love. They don't want to give you love. They just want to get your money. Okay. And it's another thing. I meet a lot of guys, they go to strip club, they spend thousands of dollars. The only reason that these women are attracted to them is because they're spending money. And then when they try to date them outside of the club, sometimes there's a problem. Okay. I don't know. I've never, ever dated a stripper, and I've met quite a few. I've done a lot of business in these clubs. And with clients, clients say, I want to meet you at so-and-so. I go there, and they hopefully they're not too distracted while we're talking business. But and I met quite a few, especially when I had the TV show Parco PI. I would walk into a club and the announcer would say, hey, we got Parco PI here, and some of the girls would come over and they give you a free massage and this, that. But it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. It just, But we're going to talk about different topics tonight, and one of the things I want to talk about also, some of the women's issues. We had matter of fact, she might be coming on next week. We had a girl who was a victim of stalking, and I'd like to talk about that because what is the difference between being aggressive to meet a woman or stalking her? I mean, at some point there could be a fine line between the two. I mean, some men just can't take no for an answer. And you got to take no sometimes. Something you can't, Nick Apiece, you always have the hottest women with you. Well, that's, Nick, I gotta admit that you're telling the truth. Well, you know what it is? We're going to talk about that tonight. That's probably why I'm doing the show. No, seriously. I just think it's a good topic to go over, and it interests women too, because I know a lot of women contacted me and said they want to watch the show because they want to hear some of the stuff, and they're going to comment some of the stuff that they're not going to like. They're going to say, "Oh no," and I want to see their comments. They're going to say, "No, that's not right. and we want dialogue. We want people. Now, I have to say, a dear friend of mine made a comment when I put on Facebook that I want to do this format, and he said, and he's a lovely guy, great guy, very intelligent. Unfortunately, he's liberal, but then so we don't talk politics. So he did say one thing that was interesting. He said, "Your podcasts are one-sided." And what's happening nowadays is you can't have two different sides on the same podcast. I tried to do that. I have one guy, Murphy, Emmett Murphy. I love this guy, Robert Emmett Murphy. But I wanted to get other liberal thinkers, and I couldn't get them. I don't have that many liberal friends, but the ones that I do have, they don't want to go on the show. And I'm sure there's a lot of reasons for it. But I remember in the 70s when I was going to college, I had discussions with liberals, and I was more moderate. I wasn't liberal. I wasn't a little on the conservative side, I guess. But we would have an hour-long conversation and shake hands at the end. We didn't, all right, you got your point of view, I have my point of view. You don't have that anymore. You don't have that anymore. You got to be careful what you say. Now I'm getting political. You got to be careful what you say. You get canceled. If you're black and you're conservative, you're a black white supremacist. I don't know where that comes. I guess it's like a zebra. I don't know. I don't know a black white supremacist. I don't understand that. This vitriolic attitude of these people, listen, it goes both ways. It goes the liberals and the conservatives. The Republicans and the Democrats. They both snipe at each other. But years ago, we had the Democrats and Republicans. They would be able to sit down and hammer things out. Now, the only hammer they're doing is they're hammering each other over their head. So that's why I like this format. Okay, if anybody wants to know why I like this, because this format, I don't think we're gonna have anybody arguing about anything, making comments and discussions and talking about different aspects of what we're talking about. That's fine. I mean, you're still going to get a couple of people who get a little angry once in a while and might say something, I don't know. You get some snowflakes listening and they get a little, But Anthony, can we bring Tina on? I love her. I love to hear what she has to say. We had some technical difficulties before, but we're all right. We got you.
Hi.
So did you hear some of the things I said?
Well, the beginning I couldn't hear, but now I can hear good.
Okay. So, you and I talked about certain things that
So
we want
ask me what you want to know.
Okay. Well, you talked about earlier. You talked about how what turns you off when you meet a new guy, whatever. What turns you off?
Turns me off when he talks about himself, when
Right.
he doesn't listen. Men should listen to women.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, as a reader, I read cards. So I read a lot of men and I read a lot of women. And I tell the women, men need patience. You got to be patient with the man. However, a woman needs attention. So
Oh, that's nice.
lack the attention to give women attention, and women lack the patience of being patient with the man.
Whoa, that's confusing to me. Can you say that again in English?
Well, men need to be treated with patience,
Okay.
and women need to be treated by men with affection.
Oh, okay.
Notice her hair, notice her dress, notice her smile. How are you? How was your day today?
All right.
And it's vice versa.
Yes. Yes. Well,
Women need a lot of
men
affection.
want to hear good things too. I mean, men want to hear compliments too.
Right, I agree with you, but women lack it too. Just
Oh,
like when you get married, women should stay on top of their game.
I thought you meant stay on top of him.
Well, they could be on top, you know.
Well, I think we're gonna have fun.
They
Listen, we're gonna
need,
have fun with this.
they need,
We could be a
Vinny,
little,
they
we
need
could be a
date.
little cheeky. We could be a little cheeky today.
They
Okay.
need date night. You know, it'd be nice for a woman to meet up her husband when he comes home with just an apron on and high heels.
And not cooking.
Not cooking, or she could have
Well,
the food ready.
she's gonna be the treat.
Hey, you know what me a way to a man's heart is through his stomach, so you should feed him.
Well, there's another part of the body to a man's heart too, but we're not going to talk about that. We're gonna be G-rated tonight, but we could be R-rated later, you know. But
Well, you could have your popsicle at the end.
I like that. We're gonna have all right. The problem with these people is that they don't grow up in a neighborhood like we did. That's right, Johnny. They didn't grow up in a neighborhood. Yeah, but in our neighborhood, we had Arthur Avenue, Little Italy. He had a different way of approaching women. It was a little bit more macho, I think, right? You met guys in my neighborhood. Would you say they're more macho in their attitude with women?
What men were not afraid to approach women,
Right.
those guys.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Nowadays, you go to a club, you see a man staring at a woman across the bar, woman staring at the man, and they don't make the move. And believe
Well,
it or not, a man should make the move.
yes, I agree with you. But sometimes some women intimidate men. Sometimes you see a woman in a bar. I'm not a bar person, but the few times I've been in a bar, I see an attractive woman. I say, how am I going to approach her? Should I,
I'm
So,
going to give you the perfect question. You go up to her. Would you like to dance now, or would you like to dance in 15 minutes from now?
but what if they're not dancing? What if it's not a dance club?
Would you like to have a drink with me now, or would you like to wait 15 minutes and have a drink with me?
Chow. Oh, Lou Falzone. How are you, Lou? Uh, I don't get that. What's with the 15 minutes later?
In other words, you're not going to get a no. You're going to question it where you get a yes one way or the other.
Ah, very interesting.
You
I
use
never thought of
sales
that.
tech.
Yeah, and you guys are listening in. You're learning something new. You're
Sales.
learning another way of meeting women. See, that's why I want to have women on the show to talk like that. I never thought of that.
What they need, women need a conversation. They need,
Yeah,
and men need a conversation. The conversation has to be stimulus. Okay, the lingo. When the lingo is right between the two parties and they capture each other's mind and the chemistry is there, then you're on the path in the right direction.
yeah. Lou Falzone's your first time on here. Don't make it your last time. Subscribe to us. We have a subscription button. I don't know where it is, but I want you to listen to. And Lou, if you have any comments, any questions, please ask it. We like that. We enjoy that. Okay, so 15 minutes later, I come back to the woman. I say, "All right, here's your drink." Now, what happens if he says, "Well, thank you, but I don't want to drink"?
No, she will have a drink if she doesn't listen. You're not going to waste your time with something that's not, it's a deadbeat. You don't want
Okay,
no Joe's or Sleepy Jones. You know
all
what I
right. Yeah, no, I agree with you. Yeah. Matter of fact, uh, sometimes I've heard from women that are really beautiful women that say that sometimes men are afraid to approach them.
Yeah.
They're so beautiful, and that happened to me. Sometimes, I say, "Look, this girl, I don't know. It's just not. I don't know if she's even going to talk to me." And then sometimes I say, "You know what? Why not? What am I going? What is it? Embrace rejection?" I mentioned that to you before. A dear friend of mine says that he's a good-looking guy, well dressed. He's always going out, and but he has. I don't like his lines are shitty, and he tries to meet women, and he's a good-looking guy, but his rap he doesn't have game. Okay. And I listen to him, and he says stupid things to them, and he thinks because he's good looking, they're going to fall for him. And it doesn't work that way. He's better off just walking over and say, "Hi, my name is Joe," and you know. But he comes up with these clever, not so clever remarks.
Well, because he's afraid of rejection. When a woman smells rejection, she smells a weak man. He should just go, "Hi, I saw you. I want to say hello to you." That's it. It
Yeah.
and the woman should have a conversation with him. If the woman doesn't have a conversation with him, she's the idiot too. So he's not wasting his time.
No, that's true. That's true.
That's all. But
Yeah.
then if the conversation flows and there's an attraction, then it's moving right along.
Now you mentioned something before about dancing. Now, are you attracted? Let's say you go to a club and this guy's a good dancer and he dances with you. Is that another attraction?
Oh
Yes.
yeah, dancing is good. The moves. When you see the man has rhythm to the music, you know he's going to have rhythm to the movement.
Yeah,
And I'm
I
trying to keep it a G rating.
yes, yes, yes. No, well, we could be, it could be a little cheeky, as I said before. Um, no, I'm talking about me. I've met women because I'm a good dancer. I go in there and oh, if you're Sylvester Stallone, yo, Tina, can I have this dance?
How do
I'm
you know
telling you, we're gonna have fun,
that?
Johnny. Thank you so much. We're gonna have fun with this, okay? I want.
Then, honey, if you're sliced alone, forget about it.
Yeah. Yo, Tina, you want to dance? But that was good, Jack. Keep it up. Keep it up. Oh, yeah, that's the problem. You got to keep it up. Okay. We're going to talk about that too. But I want to ask you something. What about, have you ever gone on any dating sites to meet men?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Tell me good or bad about it.
Okay, so I went on dating sites. Some men just jump to the punch. You know, you think you're meeting somebody that's really nice, and you think that it's going to be nice and the lingo is great and everything. But honestly, he's very insecure because he sees he's speaking with a confident woman. She's got it all. She's got a home. She's got a business. She's got it all together. Okay, she comes with no drama. Okay, he said, I'll give you the worst dating thing that I think. They put on the profile, we meet, let's not text, let's chat, we connect, let's exchange numbers so we could talk. So what do they do once you exchange numbers? They text.
Oh,
I It defeats the purpose of why do we have numbers? We could have just text on this dating site.
yeah. But you have gone on dates with some of these people, and you were disappointed, right?
I've met a few.
And were you disappointed?
Yes, because they're not true to the picture. They're not true to who they are.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. They should listen. You're going to be found out one way or the other. So why don't you just say it straight? Because you might miss the opportunity of meeting the right person that sees you for who you are at your true value.
That's true. Now, I'm not going to promote any dating sites here, but I'm sure there are some that are legitimate that work for people. Um, but I think a
Then,
lot of
no matter what dating site you're on, you filter the garbage because there's some people that just want to get laid. Period. So
well, then you go to Tinder. That's everybody knows that there.
no, because I know somebody that met her husband on Tinder. So you can't say Tinder is just
No, no. But I'm saying that I'm just using that as an example because it's well known as for that. Okay,
upon the individual that's on the site.
okay. But there are sites that are. I hate texting. Oh, Lou Falcone. I rather talk to get to know. He's right. You're right, Lou.
Lou, you
That's what.
have my number.
He's a nice guy. He's a good guy. Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. There's so many scams out there. I mean, as you know, my profession is private investigator, and my daughter has my company, and she gets these cases where these women meet guys online, and they got a good line of shit, and next thing you know, they're asking them for money. I mean, these women are giving them money. They're desperate, and but I heard going to the supermarket, a good dating site. What do you think? Yeah, Johnny, it's true. I usually meet women in the frozen food section. I don't know if you remember the movie My Blue Heaven with Vinny Parco. When he meets the woman, he says, "Oh, you're melting the frozen food." So Johnny, you could use that line, and you could say, "Vinny, In the movie, his name is Vinny Antonelli. This is Vinny Parco giving you that line.
I think the perfect place for a man is in the meat market.
Ooh, yeah, but you. No.
Plenty of meat out there.
Well, yeah. I
Have
think so.
sausage hanging.
Uh, maybe in the sausage section, I don't know. I'm getting a little cheeky here. Um,
You crazy boy.
if I wasn't crazy, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be doing this. I mean,
You
uh,
asked questions last night, and I thought you should have kept those questions for tonight. So why don't you ask me those questions that you asked me last night?
I forgot what I asked you last night. Do you remember?
I said you should have saved them for tonight.
I thought I wrote them down. Hold on a second. Um, oh, we have places to meet women. A single guy. Where would besides the meat market? I know you said that kidding. You don't really mean the meat market, right?
Listen, first of all, if a woman wants a nightclub guy, then you meet at a club. But I don't want an all night guy. I want a guy that wakes up in the morning, has a life outside of,
Yeah.
so that
Oh,
has.
wait a minute. Johnny says I'm married 56. I don't have to do that. Well, you could fantasize, Johnny.
Okay, so wait. Johnny says he's married 57 years. He don't have to do that. Okay, so does he do attention to his wife? I mean, I have a friend who has a wife. He's a lawyer. He's a handsome lawyer. His wife goes to the gym all the time. He goes, but she goes to bed with sweats. So I go to him, so what? He goes, I figure she doesn't want to have sex. And I go, what are you talking about? Underneath those sweats is still that wonderful body that she's working out. So just pull the sweats off and make love to her.
Yeah.
He looks at me.
Wait. But maybe she's all sweaty too. Maybe she didn't take a shower. She just came from the gym. She worked out.
No,
Come on.
she showered, but even if she's not, that's
Yeah,
natural.
all right. Let me ask you something. And I don't know this woman. I'd like to meet her. No, I'm not kidding. I'll take her with the sweats or no sweats. I don't care. It's no sweat on my part.
Vinny,
We have a client. We have a sponsor. We might have a sponsor called the Lingerie Depot in Yonkers, a huge store. I went there today. They might be a sponsor. So maybe she could listen to the show and buy lingerie there and wear that for her husband.
or no, her husband should buy it for her.
I'd like to be. Wait, Luke says, so far, I like what I am seeing and hearing. So am I. We're having fun here. But you know what? I can't wait. Next week, I got 3 different women that want to be on the show. Okay, they couldn't do it this week.
There you
Now,
go. You're leaving me flat out again.
I texted a bunch of women. You, of course, I knew you were going to say yes, so I waited for you. You were number one, really, but the other ones never. Some of them said, "Oh, I'll be there next week." So I said, "Okay, fine." And but what's good about having 2 or 3 different women on the show? You have different views too. You have maybe have a little argument between them about certain things, but most women would probably agree. Or oh, I like that. What's that yellow thing around?
I don't know what happened. Something was texting me, and I try to put it out of my.
Well, you know what I do? I put my phone on vibrate. I get a cheap thrill. So no. Uh, uh, so when people call me, I while I'm doing the thing, I say I can't talk to you. One of them is one of my attorneys, but okay, all right. So Anthony, I got to promote my books. I got to make some money somehow. So Anthony, would you please? All right, here's my. Hi, I'm doing a podcast. I can't talk to you, sweetie. Call me later after 8:00. I know. Okay. Bye. It was my mistake. Okay. So we got The Mafia Double Cross is my best-selling book so far. Everybody loves it. It's a very interesting story where the mafia goes on vacation and the FBI task force goes on vacation in the same place. And you could imagine the back and forth and what's going on. And there's a lot of controversy. And the terrorists take over the hotel that they're in. And that's all I'm going to tell you. And you got to read the book. Investigations After Dark fall in line with this podcast. This is about my stories of investigations of divorce cases, going into swingers clubs, following people into sex clubs, going tracing people who are doing things against their marriage. My publisher at the time said, "Do a sexy book," and that's what this is. From the Detective's Kitchen is basically a cookbook tied in with stories of investigations where we cook for the staff. I went to French cooking school many years ago, and I was on the job.
Can I
And
check one question? Do you
yes,
do any grilling?
no, oh, that's a okay. Wait. All right, I gotta share this with the look. This summer, Tina has a house, has
A place in
a place in the Hamptons, so I was staying there, and we had a barbecue, and she said, "How come you're not barbecuing?"
No,
I said,
I told them okay, because the griller that was supposed to grill do it. They got drunk, so I said, okay, Vinny could grill.
and here's my answer. I said, when I went to French cooking school, the head chef said, "We do not grill. Only cavemen and peasants grill." And that was a good answer. I just didn't want to. I didn't want to grill. So
I said, well, you're either one or the other.
I don't know what I am.
You look like a caveman. All you need is a club and
And a fur,
fur underwear.
fur underwear. Maybe I have them on. You don't even know. You're never gonna find out. Okay. Uh, okay. There goes my advertising. My advertising budget just got wiped out when you interrupted me about the cooking.
I
You know what? It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
I
You're
couldn't. This.
never going to be on the show again, but it's okay. It's okay for now. You will. Um,
People request Tina.
request. One of the things I wanted to talk about, and I don't know if you've been involved in it, is stalking. We had a girl on the show. She was, as a matter of fact, she was in court the other day. I love to cook too. I cook Spanish, Italian, and Japanese. He cooks Japanese. What are you, a sushi chef? I never met an Italian that cooks Japanese. Hey, Lou, are you going to invite Tina and I to your house so we can sample this and we can talk about it on the next episode? So she was being stalked by this guy, and he actually had the temerity. I like that word, the temerity. Instead of saying he had the balls, he had the temerity to text her and said he wanted to be on the show to talk his side of the story. Would you believe that?
Wow.
Yeah. So I said to him, "Go in a ring with me for 3 rounds with gloves, and then you could come. You could come here because I said I want to beat the shit out of you for bothering this girl. What I don't want him to go into it. He just harassed the hell out of her. And again, there's a fine line between being aggressive and stalking. I mean, I know a guy I won't mention his name. I don't know if he's listening to the show. He's a good friend of mine. He was going after this woman. Unbelievable. I mean, it was at the stage where he was actually stalking her. Okay. But he's a nice guy, and she knew that he really loved her, and they wound up getting married. So, yeah, they really did. And so,
Did it last?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
it lasted and it's still lasting. I went to the wedding, so it's better. I want my money back from the wedding.
Vin
The
really
gift.
stalked. I think that
No matter where she went, he went there. She was in a convention. He was going to hire an investigator to follow, see if she's going to go with her ex-boyfriend.
wow,
Wherever, I mean,
that's terrible.
well, yeah, but and then he asked her to marry her like 15 times. And then she finally said, okay. And they're very happy together. God bless them. And, so it does work in some cases. But again, was he being super? I want people to answer me. Was he being super aggressive or was he stalking her? I think it's a fine line there. I think it was stalking, but again, it worked. So,
Maybe he wanted to make sure that she was all that
yeah.
before he popped the question.
Well, he popped it 15 times.
Is he still like overly protective of her in the marriage?
I don't really know. I think he's just a very good husband. He's very good with the kids. He's good with her.
Everything. So they built the foundation. So
Yeah.
It's
Hey, Lou
not,
Falzone, this show's not about you, Lou, but I love you. I'm half Spanish and Sicilian. Whoa, what a combination, Lou. Oh,
you know what?
gee.
He
Yeah.
talk Greek.
So, you know, I had for a short while before I got married, I had a roommate. I moved out of my house. I met my buddy. We had a club on Belmont Avenue in the Bronx, and we met there. And yeah, come stay with me. So I stayed with him, and we went out, went to girls, and we did pretty good. But what I noticed about him is he would go into a bar, and some of these bars are like sausage factories. You know, there's all guys and maybe 10 girls in a whole place. There's 50 guys. He would actually go to every girl and try to pick them up until one said, okay. And it worked for him. I don't think I could do that. I can't. I mean, to go to every girl and get turned down, get turned down, get turned down. Uh, I mean, it's one thing to try to pick up women in general. Matter of fact, there was a book written many years ago. I bought it for a friend. He asked me to get. He was embarrassed to buy it, so I bought it for him. It's called How to Meet Women, How to Pick Up Women. And you said the easiest thing that they said in the book. Just go over to a girl and say, "Hi, I'm Vinny, and or I'm Tina, and what's your name?" And and see what happened. But the the guy, the author of the book, was pretty good. What he said was, you have to be very aggressive. What he meant by aggressive is you could be going to like this is funny. You could be going to your mother's funeral and you see a hot chick, you go, you forget about the funeral, you try to pick her up, and that's an exaggeration. But what he meant was you got to pick the time and you try to and you see a girl. Now I had a friend, not a very good looking guy, okay, um, but he had a line. Oh my God, he picked up women left and right because he had a line. He would and any you could be waiting for a
He
bus
was
stop.
aggressive. He went after what he wanted
Yes,
and got it.
and
Because
he knows how to talk.
while the diggling and they lose their opportunity, and somebody comes along and grabs them.
I've seen that happen many times. Many times. Um, guys use certain things. Like for example, I know a lot of women are attracted to uniforms. They like guys in firemen, cops, doctors uniform. That's another, you know. So sometimes women are attracted to a man's job. Like for example, you ever see these NBA players, NFL baseball players? They have girls lining up to go out with them. Okay.
I'm not attracted to that. I'm a son
Okay.
and in a suit.
Okay. Well, okay. But that's certain women like that. So what I like to do is wear a uniform, a baseball uniform, make believe I'm a baseball player to pick up girls at a baseball game. And then I have another uniform. I got like Superman. I got another uniform. I'm a fireman and I can pick up. No, I'm just kidding around. I don't do that. But, uh, you know, it's different thing. Like, I give me an example. I was at a party once and I met this supermodel. I didn't pick her up. She rejected me. Nah, she didn't. I know. We're just friends. And I said to her something. I felt, she said to me with this French accent, she goes, I can't do a French accent, but she says, there were no ugly billionaires. Think about it. There's no ugly billionaires. They're all good looking, I mean, the money. And if you notice, let's go, Brandon. Oh, Jamie Diaz. All right. I love her. I love her to death.
Hi, Jamie. I love Jamie. Is that Jamie? Jamie?
Yeah, Jamie Diaz. Yeah, my Jamie from the show and from
I love.
yeah. She's in Miami. I don't think she's ever going to. Well, I don't know if she's going to come back. If you're going to come back, text me. We got a couple of things going on, and
Over to my home. All right.
yeah. Oh yeah. When are you going to have another dinner party with all your
We'll
friends?
figure it out.
Okay. Well, let's talk about other things today. Um, for example, all right. I'm going to ask you this question. You see a guy with a nice suit. He's got a decent suit on, nice shoes, and he's dripping with gold and wristwatch and chains. And is that a turn on or a turn
No
off?
chains. No.
No.
Uh,
But
uh, uh,
some women like that. So now,
fine, but no, no.
but now that but that man will try to meet women that like that kind of thing. So he's promoting himself to a particular
A
demographic.
Guido meeting a Guidette.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Simple as that.
Very, very, all right. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Look,
Uh,
I like sweats too.
what's that about
I like
sweats?
sweats too. It's how you carry yourself when you're wearing it.
Yeah. I've seen some women in the gym with sweats that carry them very well, very, very well. I wonder. I mean, you leave nothing to the imagination when they wear these skinny tight things. Not that I look. People tell me. No, I'm like, um, that's another thing. How do you pick up women in the gym? I had that question. I asked that question to some of the women, and some of them had the interest. I'm gonna have one. I'm gonna have one girl. She's gonna come on next week. She's a personal trainer, an actress, and a producer. And I'm gonna ask her that question. And I know um, some of the women that I meet in the gym, and I'm not trying to pick them up, I'm just being friendly with them. I asked them. I said, it's that some guys have some stupid lines, and they make reference to like the girls bending over, and they might say something about that. And some of the things might be cute, but they're inappropriate. You
No,
agree?
I agree with you. The,
They're not.
the woman is talking about this equipment, or you're in doubt. Like if I talk to a guy, he's handsome, and I want to catch, I'll say, "Am I doing this right?"
Yeah. Yes, that's a great. I love that. I love that.
And
And what?
and
And
and if you for a woman for a man to for a woman, you a man should go to a woman and say, "Wait, um, I don't. I'm just getting back into this. You work out. You probably get a feel for this machine. Do you know how to use it? That's all. She'll tell you. If not,
that's an icebreaker. That's an icebreaker.
you need an icebreaker. You need something that they're comfortable with talking to you about, and you just continue the conversation about the gym. How often do you do it? I'm getting back into it. I had an injury, and I'm going with my situation. I tell them I just got my knees redone and I got to build my muscles around my knees. And then I get a comment.
All right, that's one way.
And then
Uh, and I've met women in the gym with the machine. Oh, you're on my machine. Kidding around, and then oh no, you could use it. No, no, I'll come back. No, you use one set. I'll do two sets. Da, 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 da. And I mean, it's just a lot of different. But then again, you have Vin just got in, missed part of your show. Mike Marciano, you missed the best part. We had naked women running across the stage. Mike, welcome, Mike. You're welcome to make any comments to Tina or to myself. Tina's full of comments tonight. Um, but
I'm only,
all right, let me ask another question. I
yeah.
know when I was growing up, I think I'm still growing up. I'm not thinking. One of the things was the guys had to have a car. When you have a car, you meet women. Okay. Now I know what you're going to say. Well, those kind of women, these are the young women. It's for young women. But also, as you get older, uh, the more prestige you have with a car, you also an icebreaker. Also, but,
Vinny,
yeah.
Vinny can have one of the nicest cars, and it's a lease car, and they don't have to rub together. Bullshit. Okay,
Well, even a leased car, you got to have money to lease it, right? I mean, think about it.
come on.
Well,
How-
yeah, I got to tell you a funny story. I had a girl working for me, a very attractive girl. I met her. She introduced to one of my friends who happened to be he owned a bakery in Brooklyn, big bakery, and he had a lot of. He had a Ferrari. He went out with her with a Ferrari, and she had the nerve to say, he goes, well, he was okay, but that he leases that Ferrari. So I said, yeah, he leases it. It's like 2,000 a month to lease a Ferrari. So it's not anything bad that he's leasing it. Matter of fact, it's good. He's got that car.
I,
So if that's all you're worried about, then
I
don't
lease
even bother with it.
my car too, because for me, I'm a woman at my age. I figured every 3 years I get a new car. I never break down. I get it. I understand that. But what I'm trying to say to you, it's like a woman carrying a Louis Vuitton. Meanwhile, they have no money, no cash in their bag. If you're going to carry a $2,000 bag, where's the cash to back it up? That's what
All
I'm.
right. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. So when they wearing the facade Okay, they're doing the facade, and yet they don't have a home. They don't have. See, that's to me. You know how I am.
I
I've
know. Yeah.
been investing my money and making my money work for me. You understand?
Mm. But certain things, certain women are attracted to certain things.
Like I tell, like people go, "What are you looking for a man?" I says, "I want him to have money." I says, "But I don't want him for his money." Okay. I don't want to intimidate him when I go out. And if I want a bottle of champagne, I'm going to order a bottle of champagne because I could pay for it. You understand?
Yeah.
So, and
Yeah.
because money is a very cruel factor in a relationship. If a man doesn't have the money, okay, it causes stress with a woman. It's not that the woman wants him for the money, but there are women that want men for their money.
Oh, yes. I met quite a few. Yeah.
I get it. I just want him to feel comfortable to be on my level and more. You know what I mean?
I agree with you. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah.
So that's
Well,
basic.
the women I go out with, I just take them to McDonald's because that way we have the same amount.
I love
If
McDonald's.
she wants to buy, buy a McBurger, she could buy
I,
it because she
I
can afford it.
burgers if
No,
you.
I don't like McDonald's. I don't like McDonald's. I don't like fast food, but it is what it is. Wait, hey Vin, just got in this part of your show. You just said that. You just said that, Mike. Listen, maybe you learned something. Maybe you'll teach me something. Fugazi. It's funny that word fugazi has a negative connotation, and yet a guy named Bill Fugazi had a big limousine company years ago,
Yeah, just
and I feel bad for the guy because now his name is like White Castle once in the blue moon. Okay, that's my son Christopher. I like, by the way, I he's hit the nail on the head. Every once in a while, I'll pass a White Castle, and I got they call it the Crave, and I go in there and I drive in and I get maybe four. I only get like four hamburgers, the onion rings, and a chocolate shake or a drink. That satisfies me because you just can't eat a lot of that. But some people,
at the end of the day.
what happened at the end of
At
the day?
the end of the day.
No, it doesn't. Some people they call murder burgers or belly bombers or something like that. I don't know. I have a strong stomach. Rigolettos, yeah, we go to Rigolettos. Matter of fact, I'm going to Florida again, doing the Roger Stone show, and we're talking about a dear friend of mine who passed away, Sonny Francesi, passed away a year ago, 101 years old, oldest gangster in the United States. And I'm going to talk about the positive things about him. Not,
He was a great guy.
yeah, he did a lot of great things. He spent a lot of time in jail too, and that's a
He was very close with Carmine. Q.
yeah. I know. That's how I know him through Carmine.
Carmine.
And
Carmine and him were inseparable.
yeah, but uh, so with talking about that, and then when I come back, Mike, December 7th, we have a reunion, like a reunion at Rigoletto's. We have once a month, and and it's nice. It's really nice. A lot of camaraderie. A lot of everybody's talking about somebody who
That Wednesday night?
Tuesday. It's always a Tuesday night.
Tuesday night. Okay.
Yeah. It's always a Tuesday at Rigoletto. So you were there once. You came to one of the, yeah, and you were well regarded, well respected there. But it's
Well, they
mostly guys.
know many years.
Yeah. So, but some of the guys there. We do invite women once in a while. They like to have most of the guys there are married or they're married a long time or they're widowed or whatever, widowers. But they're all good guys. They're all good guys, um,
They're
and
all
they're gentlemen, but they're much older than me. And every once in a while, who died? Boom, So if I know them well, I'll go to the wake of the funeral. It's a dear friend of mine just died the other day, Timmy. I don't know if anybody remembers him from Belmont Avenue. He was in our club in Belmont Avenue. He had a lot of medical problems, a lot of not COVID and nothing to do with. Meanwhile, they're going to write on his birth certificate. They're going to say COVID, but he had a plethora of injury of things with high blood pressure and low blood pressure and diabetes, the whole bunch. And he's a nice, good guy. Good guy. Well, at least I could talk about him in a nice way.
May he rest in peace.
Yeah, may he rest in peace. I'm gonna, my friend Joe D. Felice is listening. We're gonna uh, toast him. You know, it's a little memorial because he's in Florida. We can't afford to go down there to a funeral, so we'll do something for him, whatever we can. You know,
That's nice.
maybe I'll send a mass card. I mean, something to say that we remember him. You know,
Right.
you know, and guys like and women too. You like to have that drink for your friends' old sake, stuff like. And we do that at Rigoletto's every once in a while. They would toast. And Bernie, Bernie.
Bernie, how is he?
Oh, he's a sweetheart. He's great. He rattles off all the people that died. They're a little depressing, but in a way, it's nice. He's saying, "All right, let's have a toast for the," and he's going on and on. And I said, "My God!" But then again, that neighborhood, we had a lot of people in that neighborhood, and a lot of people moved out, and sometimes they move out, they don't come back, but you find out that they passed away, and I give them some respect, stuff
Or
like
some
that.
people are not allowed to come back to the neighborhood.
Well, I don't. That's another story. Another show we're going to talk about. There's a couple of rats that cannot allow to come back.
No, I know that way. I'm saying it like, got into trouble, they can't come back into that neighborhood.
Oh yeah, well we have some people like that. Yeah, yeah,
I
but
got rats. We know
like
who rats are.
yeah, rats. Yeah, I had to track one down on one of the cases there, and I found him in Las Vegas, of all places, right?
So let's go back to the sex and the single guy.
Okay, yeah, yeah. We're talking. That's my problem. I have so much stuff going. There's nothing else up here, so I have a lot of things going on inside.
So basically, you wanted to ask me some questions, and
All
I'm
right. Well, I asked you some of them already. Um, all right, breast obsession. The men have breast obsession.
okay. That's nice.
It-
That's
it-
some don't. Some have asked.
yeah,
Some are leg guys.
I'm a leg guy myself.
Listen, first of all, when you see a woman,
Matter of fact, I'm an everything guy. Whatever part of the body you tell me is nice, I like. Yeah, all right, I like that. But no, you're right. Some guys are attracted. Also, that's another part of attraction. Some
yeah,
are attraction to certain parts of the body.
yeah, but you don't go for the kill. You go for the whole entire package, and you go slow, and you lure her in.
Oh, I like when you talk like that. Very sexy. Now, let's say I want to lure. I just start with the pinky and then work my way to the rest of the body.
Now, in other words, I'll give you an example. Can I be very frank on this?
Big Frank. Yeah,
Okay,
you could
so
curse too. I mean, it's
right, and right away they go for the kill. Okay, and where do they go for for the lower part of the body? I go, hey, what happened to the rest of the part? How about the mouth? How about the neck? How about the
you
chest?
got to start someplace. Yeah.
So I'm just saying that, and also very, very important, men don't realize when a woman gets older, she needs more affection. She needs more. Okay, just because she's older doesn't mean the sex has died. Just like women think that when a man gets older, oh, he can't get it on anymore. What are you talking? If you turn him on, he'll get it on,
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
right?
Right.
What do you like, Vinny?
I'm a cuddler. I like to cuddle, I like to kiss. I take a long time before I do anything. I enjoy the whole body. Seriously, I enjoy it. But you know what? Some of the women I've gone out with, they want to get right to it, and I'm not like that. I want to build up to it, and I mean, I'm not complaining. Maybe I am a little bit.
You're a foreplay kind of guy, and that's
Yeah, I like cool. I kiss. I like
it
I don't,
should
I don't like a quickie. Put it this way, I don't like a quick. I don't like quickies.
the way I look at a person's body, okay? A woman's body, a man's body. Now, I'm a heterosexual, so I'm not into women or anything like that, but this is the way I think men and women should look at it. It's like you got a canvas and you're going to start painting. So how do you start painting? You start doing the lines, right? You're creating. So
Right.
making love to one's body, you got to draw out the whole line of the body. You just don't. forget about certain parts.
No, I agree with you, but um, my experience, and I've got a little experience. That's I'm not bragging or anything, but um, some of the women that I've met, they want to go right to it, and I don't. That's not my thing. I like. I'm getting a little older. I want to be a little bit more. I just want to make love. I don't want to have love. I don't want to have sex. I want to make love, and the sex comes afterwards. That's it. Now, all you women that listen to this show, my number is 1-800 Vinny is available. I'm having fun. I'm having more fun with this than a political shit. Because when I do the politics, I get mad. I get mad at what's going on in this world. But I have to say one thing: things are coming around a little bit slowly but surely. Um, I think people are realizing that there's overreach by the government, and that's all I'm going to say. Right now, people are realizing what's going on. I think there's going to be a leveling, a leveling of left and right, and maybe we'll have a better country. We have to think that way. Got to be right in the middle. Can't be one or the other. Got to be in the middle.
When I grew up, about who was a Democrat, who was a Republican. It was we used to pick who was for the right cause,
Right.
and we would vote. Okay,
Yes.
so and that's how it should be.
Now, my
Okay,
father was a Democrat. He always voted that because he was told he was told when he came over from Italy that the Democrats were for the working man. At one time they were, but not anymore. So now there's a whole different thing, and that they're more socialist.
and
And so people now you have Democrats that are like pissed off at their own party because they say, "Wait a minute, I was a middle of the road Democrat. I went either way." Whatever the topic was, I followed up. I worked with my Republican counterparts. We worked together, try to get passage of laws. It's not that like that anymore. It's not like that anymore, and it's bad. It's very bad.
I became a Republican from a very young. I remember my mother. Now, coming from a Greek family, my mother used to try to hold on to me and control me. So she would give me something and then make me go under her rulership. So when I started working one summer at 15 years old and I made fabulous money, I told my mother she can't tell me what to do anymore.
Yeah, I know. That's true.
So
Yeah,
that Democrat gives you money, but keeps you in place and tries to control you. Where Republican makes his own money and nobody can tell him what to do.
yeah,
So
that's pretty. That's pretty on the ball. Um, and I'm not supporting either one right now. I'm just saying that
listen,
you,
is where
my father was Republican, loved Eisenhower. Yeah, well, my father. Yeah, you know what? My father was a Democrat, but he liked everybody liked Eisenhower, wasn't it? So that's another thing. You could be a Democrat and still vote for a Republican, and vice versa. If the person carried on something that was good to you, if that politician was doing something that's going to benefit you, you vote for him or her. That's the name of the game. That's the way it works. It's not Republican, Democrat. You might you might vote in party line. Listen, we're almost with I'm having a lot of fun with you. I don't want to end, but as we say on Arthur Avenue, sempre noi, always with us. I want to thank you, Tina. You were great. I want to thank all the people that came in with comments, and next week's gonna even be better. We're getting better and better and better, and I think we're gonna have a lot of fun doing this, and I'm having a lot of fun doing it. Good night, everybody.
I love you, Vinny. Have a good night. Good night, Anthony. Bye.